Hello, Carol here. Happy 2025. Can you believe it? And I do like having a new bag for the new year. So this is a simple tote bag style, drop everything in type of bag. I've cut out 2 pieces of backing fabric, so the front and the back. And I'm going to cover this backing fabric with my much beloved scraps. I'm going to start by putting this dark red scrap down, and then I'm going to fold over the edge of the checky bit of material and cover the raw edge of the first rectangle. So I'm layering it up in a way that all the raw edges will be covered by a folded edge. I'm using different size scraps to get this irregular, more interesting fabric, and maybe putting in some pops of colour like this red that I quite like against the blue. I also like to add a few checks and a few stripes to make it a bit more striking. So I'll cover the whole thing, pinning down an area, and then once I've got a little bit pinned, I'm going to start on some of my visible stitching. I've decided to go for black. Now, I'm not very organised, so sometimes I was stitching with a single piece of embroidery thread, sometimes it was with like a glazed cotton. I just kept on losing my stuff, so it's on the list. New Year's resolution, be more organised. We'll see how that pans out. I do believe that one's been on my list since about 1983. So, I won't hold my breath. So this is the stitching. I'm having to show you on a separate bit of scrap because for some reason it didn't record. So these are the sort of stitches that you see in a kid's book where you have a character that's got patches on the clothes. So it's straight stitches up and down. And I'm not too worried about them being too regular because I think that irregularity might add a little bit to the charm of the overall look. Then depending on what colours you're using, I think it might be nice with a red thread too. Once everything is stitched around and we've got the back and fronts done, we'll need the lining back and front exactly the same size. I probably should tell you now that it was 50 centimetres long, 37 centimetres deep, and the squares are cut 8 centimetre at the bottom for the base of the bag. I have put in a quick and dirty zip in the lining, so I've got a pocket to keep things safe. Then on the outer layers of the bag, I did iron in a light interfacing for a little bit of body. For the handles that I've inset about 10 centimetres, I don't know, is this called webbing? You just buy it off the rack. So I already had this hanging around, champion. And then I sewed it all together. I start with the top first, sewing in the handles. And then the right sides together, sewing all the way around the bag. Remember to leave a hole at the bottom to turn the bag inside out. And I'm just making sure that the top of the bag is matching. So line with lining and the front with the front. Excuse me for the shaky camera. That's on the list as well. Be less lazy, use a tripod. So I'm doing the base of the bag now, just pulling out that 8 centimetre square that I cut off, matching the sides and the bottom seams, and just sewing them up. So once both corners have been done, pull it all inside out, give it a little iron, and then get some photos for Instagram. We've had such miserable grey weather that as soon as the sun comes out for a minute, you have to make the most of it. So, like I say, Happy New Year to everybody, health, happiness, lots of great crafting, buckets of inspiration. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.